A notorious demon house, which we covered here on the show, about over in Ohio. There's a supposed demon house where this family had apparently lived, and the child was walking up the walls backwards and levitating and whatnot. So they claimed. No evidence of that. And we covered this on the show several months ago. They had been bought out by this Ghost Adventure outfit that said that, we're going to make this into a little reality TV show or whatever. But the reason why we're coming back to this story again is because, I'm sorry, not Ohio, it's Indiana, excuse me. It is now, this house is no more. They completely demolished it. Its purported possession was nearly, if an entire family has been torn down, the Indiana store reported. The raising of the Gary, I don't know why they call it that. The Indiana property followed its purchase by the host and executive producer of Ghost Adventures, Zach, that began back in 2014. Now, he's apparently releasing a documentary of the haunting later this year, which will reveal the reason why he felt it needed to be demolished. Yeah, it's a cover-up, any evidence that we'll find that you're fucking full of shit. This is a scammer's way. If they can afford to, and this is what this guy could afford, is he's going to go in and do whatever scam shit he's going to come up with, and then he's going to destroy the only place that he says that's all the shit's happening. If there were people actually being possessed or being able to walk up walls or whatever because of something that was going on inside a building, that would be good scientific discovery if it were real. But because he's destroyed it, now we'll never know for sure. So he's driving this plausible deniability. Connie, your thoughts?
He could have made a cool million by presenting all his evidence to, James Randi.
Yeah, the Randi Foundation, yep.
I know. Evidently it must have been worse than the Amityville house, because the Amityville house is still standing.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of comments on this article, and one of my favorites was somebody called Bill Thacker, and he said something inside of the house was something that had the ability to do things that Zach Baggins, not Bilbo, had never seen before, except stopping a bulldozer. So, yeah.
I can do all kinds of things. I can make people levitate, but I can't stop a bulldozer.
Yeah, the huge, covering up, I don't know. I was really surprised to see that they actually just demoed the house.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not shocked by it either when you look at it and you go, yeah, well, they just don't want anybody else to walk through and see all their bullshit.
Yeah. Destroy all the evidence of all the crap you pulled. It's the best con game out there. Claim shit happened and then destroy any evidence of that thing. Dana, your thoughts?
Yeah, apparently this house belonged to the Ammon family, the Ammons family.
Yep.
Yeah. What is it about that name? That's the worst name for a human being as a first and or last name. Ammon. Thought that joke would actually go over better. Hashtag Ammon Bundy, right?
Ammon Bundy.
Anyway, so just chalk this up as yet another unsolved mystery where the evidence somehow disappears before it can be properly tested.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh gosh, yeah.
To Connie's point, something was inside the house that had the ability to do things that I had never seen before. To which I say, yes, I agree. Men doing housework is extremely rare.
You've seen my house.
I did have a question though. Was the house raised by human beings, or did it kind of just like poltergeist away at the end of the?
It's like that cartoon in
just
Ghostbusters.
Away and then goes up into the sky.
It's like in that Ghostbusters cartoon where the house suddenly just magically appeared on the edge of the block, and then when they left, it just collapsed in on itself and just poof.
It Jumanji'd.
It Jumanji'd, yeah, Jumanji'd itself.
The book.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Or it might have just maybe it just disappeared like the Legion of Dooms. Like their headquarters. Oops. Ends up in a swamp somewhere in Florida.
I thought that house was destroyed.
Meanwhile, in Gary, Indiana,
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary.
I think the last time I was on the show was when we covered this,
I think so.
and I even remember saying, "Scary Indiana, scary Indiana."
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think you did. Oh, it must have been. It must have been. It must have been.
It was in October.
Yeah, it was in October. I was going to say it must have been. God's will, Dana, because you're back for the second half of this story.
I was going to say, it's like, hey, we're wrapping up that Ammon story.
Yeah.
Tell Dana.
If by God you mean Thor, I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean Chris Hemsworth? Yeah.
Oh my Thor.
Oh my Thor.
Am I at the Thor?